welcome. Thank you so much for joining our What's New webinar. We're hosting these on a quarterly basis so that we can keep all of you updated on the feature improvements that we've made to House Pro. All of our feature improvements come from feedback from people like you, so thank you so much if you've been involved in the planning process for any of these features. And just to kick things off, I'm going to start with some introductions. I'm Abby, and my colleague Katie is here today as well. We're both on the product marketing team here at House. So we get the honor to work very closely with our customers like yourselves, as well as our engineers and our product team to make sure that we're building the right features for our customers. So as we go through the demos today, feel free to add any questions into the chat and the Q&A tab, and one of us will reply to all of them throughout the webinar. So we'll do our best to keep up with those, so feel free to leave any there at the top. Now, as far as the agenda goes, we are going to cover some visual tools, some updates to the 3D floor planner, financial tools, some updates to documents and online payments, and then project management tools, including the selections tracker, schedule, and takeoffs. So we will go ahead and kick things off. All righty.
Okay.
Go for it, Katie.
Let me share my screen here. So I'm going to be going through some updates to the 3D floor planner, which is really exciting here. Abby, can you see my 3D floor plan?
Yes, you're good to go.
Okay, great. So the first update we've recently released is now you can create photorealistic images from a 3D floor plan. So this is something we've gotten a lot of feedback for. I know even in some cases, some of you may have been using an additional tool for your 3D floor plans in order to create those more lifelike, realistic images. So now you can do it directly from a floor plan. For those of you who have not used our 3D floor planner before, it's a really great tool. You could use it throughout your whole project process, either in the beginning, in that initial estimating phase. We have a lot of pros who are using it to put your design or build vision together so you can send it to your client along with that estimate as a way to really differentiate yourself and show your client what you can do for them. And then you can use it all the way through. So I'll show you here how to create the photorealistic image. We do have a lot of tutorials we can also share on the 3D floor plan. We're not going to get into all the basics of how to use it here, but we'll put some of those in the chat for those of you who are new to the tool. So if we want to create the photorealistic image, you can do it either in the dollhouse mode or the walkthrough mode. So here I have an existing example of a pretty elaborate 3D floor plan that I've built out. I'll go into the walkthrough mode here. And this is a way to give you a perspective as if you were actually walking through that space. So when we're ready to create our image, you click over here on the right where it says camera. Then you can see that we're in camera mode here. And there are settings you can adjust as if you were actually using a real camera. So you can adjust the height. That's probably a little bit too high, so we'll bring it back down here. You can also adjust the tilt of the camera, bringing it down to the ground or up to the ceiling, as well as the field of view. So you can zoom in if you want to get a little bit closer, or you can zoom out if you want to show some of the surrounding room as well. So I think, oops, we zoomed in. Sorry, I got a little too zoomed in there. Okay, let's go out for a second. Go back in through walkthrough. Okay, so that looks like a good view. And then when you're ready, you click here on Generate Photorealistic Image. And then you can see it'll show you a snapshot exactly of how that image will look. There are also some tips we have on how to get the best results. Click Generate. It does take a few minutes to generate, so while that's happening, you can keep working on your floor plan. Then when it's done, that image will be added directly into the files and photos of that specific project. And you'll also get an email with a link to that image. So we'll click OK. You can see down here it's still generating. So that view will be there as long as the image is generating in the background. And then once it's done and ready, you'll get it emailed to you or you'll see it. So this for example, is an image that I took earlier of that space. So you can see it's a beautiful room. It does look really realistic. And then you can also add comments here the same way that you can on a floor plan. So you can add a comment to your client or your team, you know. Then they'll have access to it. You can also download it. Are there any questions there, Abby?
Yeah, Brad was asking about being able to basically get more options and being able to have like a database from Lowe's, Home Depot, or Tile Bar to be able to add in more selections and better organize and find the type of flooring that they're looking for. Our team is trying to work on ways to incorporate more brands as well as more options. So the problem there is that you have to 3D model each different thing. And as we all know, there's hundreds of millions of selections available on the internet. So we're trying to figure out a way to make that process a little bit easier and make that work. So it's a work in progress. I promise that it is on the top of our minds though. So we're going to see what we can do about that. And then Lee asked, can you take an existing drawing or PDF and upload that and convert it to a 3D plan?
Yes, you can do that. Right here, if you see in this right column, there's a button to upload a drawing. And then you can upload a file from your computer, PDF, JPEG, or PNG. And then you'll be able, if you click this, you can basically trace over it to have that create the basis for your 3D floor plan.
Yeah, and Lee, I'm pasting in a YouTube video. You'll hear my voice on it. I did it. I'm teaching you how to do that as well. So
awesome. Any other questions there?
Nope, I think we're good so far. Thank you.
Okay, and then the next update also to the 3D floor plan is we've recently released the ability to create multiple floors within a floor plan. So again, this is something I know probably a lot of you have also provided feedback on, and I'll show you here exactly how we do it. So here we have our ground floor. Basically what we're doing is creating a copy of the layout of that floor that you can then duplicate to have available for another floor. So you can use it to create a basement, an attic, maybe a second or third story. You can create up to 6 stories. So it's also a way that you could do the layout maybe for 2 different options if you wanted to show it to your clients and let them choose which they prefer. So you just go up here where it says ground floor, and then we'll click on add floor. So let's call this second floor. And then you can choose which of those elements you want to include. So if you want the same walls, doors, windows, you know, we don't need outdoor surfaces, we don't need the furniture, we'll click add. Then you can see the copy of that floor here, and then you would just update it exactly as you would any other plan that you've created. So you can add in different doors, windows, you know, you can add in products, either generic products here or those from the house catalog under the source tab. And then if you want to go back to that first floor, you can just click and it will go back. You can also rearrange them if you want to do that. With these 3 dots, you can rename or delete them. So it's pretty easy to use there. Any questions?
I think I've covered most of them. We have a couple though. Mike asked about a magic plan sketch. I haven't heard of that one before, Mike, but if you can export it as a PDF of like the 2D plan, you'd be able to import that into House Pro. But there's not like a direct integration to be able to import their kind of 3D sketch if they have that into here. And then MJ Taylor asked, can you add in barn doors and the door selections? Yeah, there are some door options that you can add into your 3D floor plan. Yes, there you go.
Yes, I'm just looking. If we don't have barn doors here, that's great feedback that we can pass on to our team. So you can see there are a lot of varieties here, but we're always working to make these bigger. So I don't see a barn door, but we'll definitely pass that feedback on.
Yeah, for sure. And then let's see, Matthew Bishop, is there a way to just use the exterior walls? There's not a way to do exterior elevations yet, but I believe it's coming towards the end of the year that we're working on to be able to do like an exterior kind of rendering. I think that's what you're asking about. And then Maria Mendez asked if you can use fixtures from your selections. You can't do that because of that same thing that we talked about a few minutes ago. Like there's so many products on the internet and everything has to be 3D modeled. So we are working on a way to kind of navigate around that, but have not quite gotten to it yet. Then Penny asked, can you walk up the stairs? Katie, you want to answer that one?
You know, that's a good question. You mean in this walkthrough mode?
I don't think you can. I know you can see the stairs, but I don't think you can walk up them.
Yeah, I don't believe so.
I think it's the separate floor thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then let's see. Chris asked, can you adjust the ceilings using the multi-floor planner?
So you can adjust the ceilings when you're in a specific, sorry, I got zoomed in here. When you're in a specific room, you can adjust the ceilings. Not necessarily using that multi-floor aspect of it.
Yeah. Let us know what you're looking for though there, Chris. Like if you're wanting to update maybe the whole floor at once or both floors at once, it'd be great to know what you're looking for and we can share that with our 3D team.
Yeah, you'll see here there's this ceilings option where you can choose to edit the ceilings and then you just choose the room that you want to edit. And then we have our ceiling options here.
Awesome. We have a few more questions, always lots of questions about 3D. Let's see. Adam said, do we update the product catalog? Yes, we update the product catalog. The House Source tab is probably going to have more updated stuff than anything because there's constantly products being added to that since it's an active marketplace. So I would recommend checking that out. It's probably going to be your best bet for that. And then hopefully we're going to come up with a solution to be able to add more products as well and add your own products. So we'll keep you guys posted when that happens. Let's see. Matthew said, when you copy a second floor, can you just copy the exterior walls so you don't have to delete the interior walls? I do not know the answer to that. Do you, Katie?
That's a good question. Let's try it out. 1 second. I'm just going to stop sharing for a minute. I think I got too zoomed out. Let me go back to that. Abby, do you want to launch a poll while I just figure this out for a sec?
Yeah, sure thing. Definitely. I'm going to send out a poll to you guys. Let us know which feature you wish that you had in House Pro, just as a quick little interim. Let's see. Let's see if there's any other questions I can answer while we wait. Yeah. Mike asked if we can share this with clients online so they can populate it with furniture on their own. We don't yet allow you to have like an interactive sharing experience. You can share it with them for them to view like the final version that you produce, but they can't make edits to it. But we'll share that feedback with the team because I've heard that before. I think that's a great idea. Rosa asked if we can add products to source. You can't add your own products yet. MJ asked about, is there a way you can work on ceilings in bonus rooms where the sidewalls are short and slant into the ceiling? That's a great idea, MJ. I'll share that with the with our product manager for 3D. It's a really good point because bonus rooms come up a good bit. And then can you open the ceiling at the stairwell? Penny, if you can give me some more context there, I'll see if I can answer that question for you. And then let's see, Chris, you asked, let me go back to all your questions so I make sure I know it. Just the ceiling. So you can adjust the ceilings, but I'm not sure if the like cable peaked ceiling that you're looking for is in there. I think there's like a cathedral ceiling. I have to look at the ceiling options. Maybe Katie can pull them up and we can all look at them together.
Yeah.
Cool.
Here, let me share again.
Awesome.
So you see this floor plan? Say we want to add a floor. So yeah, you can choose, for instance, this is a smaller room, but if you only want to add the walls, you can do that too. That was a question, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, so he's wanting to be able to basically add the extra floor, but without the interior walls.
I see. So I think if you were adding a larger floor, or if you click that wall button, it would, I believe, add all the walls. But then you could go in and just delete them, basically.
Yeah. Or if you uncheck it, it would not have the walls, right? Oh, I see what he's meaning. He's wanting like only the exterior walls, not
only the exterior, right? So I would suggest unduplicating with the walls and then just going through and deleting the ones that you don't want there.
Yeah, but we'll share that feedback with the team because that's a good idea to be able to differentiate between the two, interior versus exterior walls for sure. Let's see. Paul asked about a tutorial for using your phone. I'm going to send you that in the channel, Paul. So feel free to open that link and save it for yourself for later. An open stairwell that is open from the lower level up to the second floor. I believe that there's some stair options for that. Yeah.
Yeah, I know we're also working to continue to expand the stair options, so we'll make sure that feedback is shared.
Yeah. Okay. Awesome. And then Vincent, yes, we're working on some more exterior capabilities. 3D doesn't have a ton of exterior facade capabilities right now, but it will be coming soon. And then Maria, that link is just above you, just above your message.
Yes, I will just quickly show this won't address all of your exterior issues, but this little tree icon will let you draw outdoor surfaces. So we have added this recently, so doesn't make sense necessarily right outside this bathroom, but you can draw outdoor surfaces and then you'll see there's a catalog of outdoor products you could include there as well.
Awesome. Another good question from Rosa that I want to cover. She was asking about 3D for like prior to converting it to a project, like at the lead stage. And I believe that our team's working on that. I don't think it's available yet, but it is coming soon.
Yes, that's correct.
And then Heidi, yes, you asked about the like feature knowledge and help stuff. So Katie, would you mind showing them on your screen where they can access all of the Help Center articles? We have lots of video tutorials and articles, and you can access it right inside House Pro.
Yeah, so this little question mark icon here, if you go to Help Center, you can either choose specifically, like if you want to go right to 3D or right to estimates, or you can go to the Help Center and then it will have all of the articles, videos within one page.
Yeah, and we just redid the Help Center, so it's a little bit prettier and easier to navigate. So that should help both you, Julie and Heidi.
Yes, I'll just show you for a second while we're here. So it's really easy to find topic that you're interested in.
Yep.
You can just explore here.
Yeah, so everything 3D floor planner will be right there under 3D floor planner.
Okay, are we ready to continue?
Yeah, I think we're good to go. And Michelle, I'll answer your question in the chat.
Okay, perfect. So the next thing I'm going to cover is updates to our online payments. So for those of you who may not be aware, your clients can pay you online through House Pro, and there are a few different ways they can do that. So they can pay you through ACH or bank transfer, and there's a 1% fee associated with it, or they could pay you through credit card, and there's a 3.5% fee associated with it. But you do have some options for those fees. So one, you can offset them to the client. So basically just have the client pay the fees, or you can choose to cover the fees yourself. Or a third option is that you can increase your markup and then embed the fees in there. So we've seen that method be really successful, since that fee can sometimes turn off the clients if they don't, maybe don't want to pay if it's a bigger amount. If you embed it in your markup, they don't see the fee and then you can be paid online, and it's, just more convenient for everyone. But we've recently introduced an additional payment method, which is instant payout. So now if a client pays you through bank transfer, it typically takes around 2 days. If they pay you through credit card, it's about 3 days. But if you really want to get that money faster, you can get it through an instant payout. So it will be available to you we say within 30 minutes, but really it's just within a few minutes. And there's an additional 1% fee on that. So you can decide, maybe for a project, you don't need the full amount instantly, but you want to get a few $1,000s or a partial amount, you can choose to just transfer that amount instantly, and then you'll pay the fee just on that amount, but then you'll have the money accessible to you faster. So there are a few ways that you can turn this on. This settings tab, we have an online payments page. If you've not already set up online payments, you can do it through here. It's a pretty easy process. It takes maybe 10 minutes. You just have to enter your bank information, your company information. But if you have already set up online payments, then when we go to this page, you'll see down here, instant payouts. So this is if you want to choose to opt into instant payouts for all of your future payments that you receive from clients. Just check this box. You'll see you've opted into instant payouts. Or if you don't want to do it for all of your payments, but you want to do it for a few, you'll see under this bell notification, you get a notification when a client pays you. So you'll see what document specifically they paid you on, and then you can choose to get an instant payout. So if you click on it, in this instance, the payment was already transferred, so it's no longer eligible. But if those funds are available to get instantly, then you can enter the amount that you would like. And then you'll see in the background here this banner that will also show up if you have money available to you through a client payment, and then you can choose to get that instantly. So we've seen, really good adoption with this, especially if there are certain projects or, maybe certain days when you just want that money faster, you can choose to do it this way. Any questions, Abby? Any feedback maybe from those of you who have already tried it out?
Yeah, so I'm covering quite a few questions in the chat. So if you've asked something, I may have answered it already. Let's see. Adam said he loves the instant payout.
Oh, great. Glad to hear.
And he said, Howes gets the money to my bank much sooner. That's awesome. She said she hasn't had any complaints about the fee too. That's great. Same with Adam. Love to hear it. And then a couple of people are asking about being able to take the 3D and convert it into a schedule or like a list of cabinet sizes that they need. And that feedback has been surfaced before. And the team's working on a way to kind of take that from 3D into an estimate. Mustafa asked, is there a daily limit on transfers?
Yes, good question. So it's a $30,000 daily limit.
Okay, good to know.
Yeah.
And then Rosa said she uses payments all the time. Sherry, yes, we integrate with QuickBooks.
Yes, definitely. And also in your settings here, there's a page down here for integrations QuickBooks. If you don't already have that set up, you can just go in here to set it up. And we also have support. So I believe it's within the first 30 days of setting up your QuickBooks account, you'll have access to additional support on our side just to help make sure everything is set up the right way.
Awesome. And then Penny asked, can you review where to see the status of payments, like paid through Howes, but not to the bank yet? She struggles with checking on the status.
Yes, that is a good question, and actually something that we are in the process of working on right now. So what we're planning to do is put basically a banner or a visual on your homepage, so you'll have more clarity into the status of payments, whether they're pending, paid, etc. Right now, though, we do have our financial reports. I'm not sure if this example is set up that well, but let's see. So this is your payments report where you can see a detailed report of incoming and outgoing payments. So I would suggest clicking in there. So you can see, the charge date, the amount, the payment method, if there was a fee, the deposit date. And then if you also want to play around with this and customize it, you can save that report view as a custom report. So it will be a little bit more useful for you when you go back in.
Awesome. Let's see. Good. Adam said his accountant says that Howes does a good job with working with QuickBooks. That's good. Okay.
Great.
Heidi, good feedback. She said she wants to see a financial reports webinar. That could be really good. Really comprehensive. Great idea.
Awesome.
You are speaking to the lady who plans the webinars right here, Katie. So she'll put that on our radar.
Well, we'll add it to our calendar. And also any feedback on financial reports specifically, or if there's something that would make it more useful for you, feel free to share that with us too.
Yeah. And Rosa, work orders is on our radar as well. Thank you for pointing that out. We have some cool features coming out pretty soon that start going in that direction, like bid management. But work orders is still something that's on our radar as well. One other question from Jacob. He asked, how do you delete a project? Not archive, but delete. I believe that the only thing that you can do is archive it right now, but that's another thing that is on our radar that we're, it's just like a technical limitation of the application. And so we're working on that.
Yes, for sure. We've gotten that feedback.
Yeah. Awesome. I think you're good to keep going.
Okay, great. I just have one other update I'll share before I hand it back over to Abby.
Awesome.
Let me share again. And so this is in documents now, we've added the ability to save a scheduled payment as your default method. So let me show you here what I'm talking about. So if you're creating, say, an estimate or an invoice, if you scroll down, you'll see here this payment section. And so this is a great way for you to put in your payment schedule. So you'll know when clients are going to pay you. They'll have a really clear, understanding of when payments are due. So you can, should be able to add additional payments here. Not sure why at the moment that's not working, but let's say you do have a few steps or, a payment schedule that you're using pretty consistently, maybe with 3 or 4 steps. I'll confirm why this isn't working, but in theory, you should be able to have, just add on more that you want to include, and then click here, save as default. So then whenever you create those future documents, this payment schedule will already be there saved as a default one. So you won't always need to go in and recreate it. Of course, if you want to update it for different clients, you have that flexibility. But if you do have a pretty standard payment schedule that you're using, you don't need to continuously add it to new documents. Any questions? It's pretty straightforward, but I think can save you some time.
Yeah, we have a couple of questions. Adam, good to know that you would like to see a webinar just on estimating. Katie.
Great.
Rosa asked if they can create an Excel list of customers' info to export to email marketing tools. You can do that. So Katie, if you want to go to company and then clients.
Yes.
And then the 3 dots at the top at options, you can import or export a client list right there, Rosa. And then Rosa also asked about automating emails like welcome emails or thank you for your business emails.
Yes, we do have that. Great question. We're actually working on an update to it. So let me just go here to an example. So up here, this little lightning bolt is for automations. And then you can see we have a few you can set up. So a next steps, client reminders, which is really useful, or thank you messages. So if you want to edit any of these, just click on that edit, and then you can update both the copy. We have some default suggested messaging, but you can update this as well as when those reminders are sent. So if you want to send it, 5 days before. Right now, the default for all of them is 2 days before an estimate is due, for instance, but you have the flexibility to update that.
Awesome. And then let's see. Great feedback, Michelle, about wanting to remove payments from change orders. We'll relay that to the team. And then Rosa asked about creating marketing campaigns in bulk. That depends on your plan type, right?
Yes. When you say marketing campaigns, is that the email marketing tool?
Yeah.
I'm not sure. Let us check on that.
Yeah.
You can send it to a bulk list of clients if that's what you're asking.
Yeah, I think that's what she's looking for. So as long as you are on Essential or above, so Essential, Pro, or Custom SKU or Ultimate, you should have access to email marketing. So you would just want to use that email marketing feature. Katie, it's under, I believe it's company, right? Down at the bottom, email marketing. So that's where you would want to go, Rosa, to be able to send out those email blasts.
Yeah. And then you can send it to as many clients or leads as you would like.
Yep. Awesome. All right. Good to pass it over, Katie.
Okay, great. Yes, that's all on my end.
All right, guys, we are going to switch gears a little bit and go into the selections tracker. The selections tracker is something that's relatively new for you guys in the construction side of things. The designers have had it for a little bit longer, but it's a really great tool for you. So this basically links your selections process into your procurement process. Before I dig in, Katie, you can see my screen okay, right?
Yes, we're good.
Okay, perfect. Yeah. So the selections tracker is that way for you to be able to track what's been ordered, when was it ordered, what did I pay for it, where is it? Is it at the job site? Is it at a receiver? Is it back ordered? What's the lead time? All of those details you can put in for each of the products. So you can see here, I've got a shower tram, a sink, and a faucet. This one's ordered. Maybe this one is back ordered. You can kind of go through and choose and add those details in, as well as things like the actual ship date, when did you receive it, all of those different details. So something that's new here for us, we've added some new things under order tracking, which is this larger header here. We've added in the ability to add your order number, your tracking number. If there's a specific shipping carrier that's carrying it, you can add that as well. And then lastly is adding the ordered by field. So this can be really helpful for you guys if maybe the designer's ordering some things, maybe they're providing the light fixtures, maybe the homeowner's providing a couple of antiques that they want incorporated into their project, something like that. You can actually put in who's ordering it. So that way you can sort, filter, and organize and understand where everything is, when it's coming, has it been ordered, all of those fun details. So that's one fun thing that's happened recently for the selections tracker. Next up, we heard some people's feedback that squishing things kind of horizontally into a stack like this, so you can see you have lead time, order number, and tracking number all on top of each other. And some people shared feedback that it was a little too much. So you can now actually switch between the stacked and the flat view. So if you want it to be a little bit more like a spreadsheet view, it is a lot more scrolling, but you can see everything in a very like linear fashion, if that makes sense. So that option is available for you just at the top, switch between stacked and flat view. And then the last thing that I want to point out here, you know, the most important piece of this is to make sure that you're paid back for the things that you're buying, right? So you can actually click multiple items and convert them into financial documents. So let's say I want to go ahead and turn this into an invoice. You choose your items, choose convert to an invoice, and then those 3 items will automatically be added onto an invoice for you to share with your client and get payment back for. So you'll see down at the bottom, it's going to show you the total, and then you can kind of take it from there. So really cool. If you haven't used the selections tracker yet, definitely check it out. It's a really, really helpful tool. There's some good help content online for you about that as well. Any questions there, Katie?
Yes, 2 questions. One from Penny. I think she sees that build.com header, and she was asking if this connects to build.com.
We do not connect to build.com yet. You can pull in products using the Clipper tool. So that's what I would recommend. So like if you go into build.com and let's say you want to get a specific light fixture, like let's pick out a wall sconce together real quick. I think I clicked the wrong thing, but that's okay. Okay, we're going to use this little Kitchener exterior sconce. If you have the House Pro Clipper tool installed, which is just a Google Chrome extension, you can actually just pull stuff super easily. That's been a recent update for our Clipper tool. People were having some problems with build.com and the Clipper tool in the past, but now we have smart sourcing available for it. So it makes that process a lot faster. So you can just simply click and it autofills all the information in for you, and you can choose which images you want to add. So that's where you see build.com coming from. I just clipped a product from build.com and saved it to my library.
Yes, and I just added, for those of you who don't have the Clipper installed, it's a great, great feature. I just added a link into the chat with how you can download it.
Awesome. Thank you, Katie.
Question from Michelle. Can the client add the items that they want ordered?
No, so we don't have the ability for the client to contribute to the selections board right now. We've heard that a couple of times. It's kind of a catch-22. Some people don't want their clients to be able to add stuff. Some people do. So we're kind of weighing our options and looking into ways that we can kind of allow you to control whether you want somebody to be able to do it or not. But it is on our radar for sure.
Great. And then a question from Maria. How do you include the selections in your estimate?
So you can actually convert things to an estimate from right here. So if your selections are final, you can go ahead and click these three and then convert and just choose estimate instead of an invoice, and convert that into your estimate. So that would probably be the best way that I would recommend doing it.
Great. Okay. I think we're good to keep going.
Okay, perfect. Now we're going to move things over to the schedule. Can you guys see this screen okay?
Yes.
Awesome. So the schedule had just a recent change for adjusting the start date. So in the past, you could only kind of like drag things. And if everything wasn't connected and interlinked, it wouldn't push the entire schedule. So we've gone ahead and fixed that for you. So actually at the top right of your screen where you see the actions menu, just want to click that down and then hit move project start date. And so the current start date is today, but let's say the client needs to push it back, or maybe it rains, something like that. Let's move it to Monday the 15th. We are going to go ahead and hit save, and then it's going to adjust the entire schedule for the rest of the project back accordingly. So you'll see here now, it doesn't start until the 15th and everything's been moved and we are good to go. So really awesome recent release. I think it's super helpful for people. You know, everybody experiences those rain delays, especially if you're doing new construction at the beginning. So big fun. Any questions there, Katie?
No questions.
Okay. I'll give you guys a second in case anybody thinks of a question they want to ask about the schedule.
I'm just going to add a link. Someone said it would be great to do a webinar on the schedule, and we actually did that probably 5 months ago.
Cool.
So I will add the link here into the chat.
Yeah, that'd be great. Okay. Any other questions?
Let's see. Is there a way to export or print the schedule in a format that's easy to read?
Yes. So we just changed the print function. I think that was part of our last What's New webinar, actually. If you do the actions menu and then do export as, you can choose what you want to see. You can do your current view or the full Gantt view, and then PNG or PDF. So you can kind of choose and then export it and print it that way. So that's one really great way for you to be able to do it.
Awesome. We can launch one more poll while we'll just give it a few more minutes to see if anyone has any questions.
Okay, sounds good. And then I'll switch over to takeoffs.
Yes, Rosa, great question. Is there a way to get a list of the webinars recently done? I will share a link to that. And then we're also working to develop a new page that will have all of our recent webinars, so you can follow that. In the meantime, this was the best page.
Yeah. And from inside House Pro at the question mark, you can also click webinars right here as well. Cool. Any other questions about schedule?
No, we can keep going.
Awesome. We're going to switch gears over to takeoffs. So something that we introduced in takeoffs is something called layers. So being able to hide and show layers. So you can see that right here, what I'm working on is a bathroom. I have measured out all the tile that I'm going to need. I have done counts for the faucets that I'm going to need, the shower trim, all of those fun things. But it's kind of a lot. So let's say that you want to only view the plumbing. So I've got everything organized over here on the right hand for my measurements. I have countertops, plumbing fixtures, and tile. But let's say I just want to see plumbing fixtures. What I'm going to do is just hit this new eyedropper icon on the right, and the countertop takeoff will be hidden. Same thing for tile. If I want to hide all of the red area that is tile, I can just click that eyedropper icon, and now it's going to only show me the stuff that is plumbing fixtures. Another great way to do this is if you want to like hide everything. Like I just want to get back to the basics. I don't need all the noise. I need to see the dimensions in the plan. At the top, across from the measurements at the very top, you can just hide and it'll hide everything at once for you. So you'll be able to hide everything, see the plans, and then when you're ready to turn everything back on, just click that eyedropper again and show that layer again. So essentially each layer is each category that you set up. And so that's a easy way to think about it. So yeah, that's what's new for takeoffs. Always fun new things coming. Any questions for takeoffs, Katie?
I don't think so. Someone asked if there was a webinar for takeoffs. We actually did it just about a week and a half ago. So we'll have that link available shortly that we can send you. But in the meantime, I would suggest just looking at our help center because we do have lots of good tutorial videos and articles on how to use takeoffs.
Yeah, definitely.
Another question from Rosa, can you transfer 3D to takeoffs?
So you cannot do that currently. Somebody had that question earlier. Actually, what would be best is to download the floor plan, like 2D floor plan version of your 3D floor plan, and then upload that as your plan into Takeoffs. We are working on a more seamless integration between the two, but for now, they are separate, but you can technically work with the two of them together. So say if you're on the job site, you use LiDAR scanning, make the plan of an existing space, then you can download that plan, upload it into Takeoffs, and keep on with your process.
Great.
Yeah.
Question from Adam about how you can create an estimate from a takeoff.
Yes. So you can use the review and estimate at the top here. So if you just click that button up at the top, that's going to be the best way to do that. And then click create estimate. So you basically can create a new, or you can duplicate and edit from there. There's also like a recent video that one of our teammates did that I can send a link to in the chat as well. Let me see.
And then a question from MJ Taylor, can we set up a schedule template so we can reuse the same schedule for different jobs? So yes, that is something that you're able to do. We have both existing templates, so you can start with one of ours, or you can just create a schedule and then save it as a template.
Yeah, I can show you real quick as well. You can see that screen okay, right, Katie?
Yes.
Okay, so if you build up your like dream schedule for, let's say, a new construction house, up at the top on the actions menu, just hit save as a template. And then you can name it as a template and say, okay, this is my new construction template I always want to use. Do you want to keep all the phases, items, and dependencies? It's completely up to you. And then just hit create. So next time when you're in a new project and you go to create a new schedule, you'll either be able to choose from those existing templates that House Pro provides, or choose from your template that you've created here.
Awesome.
Yeah, definitely. And then I'm going to get that video as well about takeoffs and estimates, and I will send that in the chat in just 1 second.
Okay, it looks like those are all the questions. Let's see, another question here. Can the schedule items populate from the estimate?
What was that? Sorry.
Can the items in the schedule populate from the estimate?
So not yet, but I'm really glad that you asked that. We're working on a way to have AI do that actually. So if you're interested, let us know and we can include you into like some of our research for that. We're working on a way to kind of translate that between the two. So good question.
Question from Paul, if there's a preference for using visual tools on a PC versus a Mac, not that I've heard. The one piece of feedback I know our support team often gives is to use Google Chrome. I think that is the best browser to use.
Yeah, definitely.
Michelle, thank you for the request. Can takeoffs be available in the lead phase? I know we are working on making more features available in the lead phase, so that's something that we can share with our team. Is there a set schedule for webinars and our training? I love these questions. I'm so glad everyone wants more webinars.
Yeah.
We don't have a set schedule, except I will say if you're newer to House Pro, like if you signed up in the last few months, we are hosting getting started webinars every Wednesday. And that's a great way really to just come and see some of the basics. So if you're specifically interested in that, we can also send out the link if anyone wants to sign up for that one. But otherwise, we've been promoting our webinars either through email, or there should be a banner that you see on the bottom of House Pro when you log in, and then you can just click on that to sign up. Rob, if you miss the beginning of this, no problem. We'll be sending out a recording later today. Heidi, great. I will follow up with you directly. I can send you a link to a getting started webinar.
Awesome.
Great.
And Rosa asked about the schedule webinar. You may have already answered that, Katie.
Yeah. I
Okay,
sent the link in the chat to the schedule webinar.
perfect. Awesome. Yeah, and I haven't been able to find that takeoff video, but I'll follow up with you about that, taking it from takeoffs to estimates.
Okay, great. Thank you everyone so much for joining. We love all the feedback and the enthusiasm. Stay tuned for future webinars. And also any feedback, feel free to send it to us through that little chat icon within House Pro.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you guys. Have a great rest of your day.
Thanks.
Bye.